Alright guys, this is my attempt at staining a Euro mount. This is from a deadhead I found earlier this year around I don't remember when I found it. It was earlier this year. I was out mushroom hunting, so it was probably around March, April, maybe even May. Um, really nice deadhead. Um, but some squirrels had got to it, so I need to brush up on the tips of a couple points of the antlers. Um, but yeah, this is the deadhead. It's a little sun bleached, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep the whiteness of the antlers. I like the looks of him, but I'm gonna stain the skull portion of it with a coffee stain. So I've got the coffee boiling, getting nice and hot. After it gets done brewing, I'm gonna let it cool down, and then I'm gonna pour it into a 5-gallon bucket. So hopefully it turns out pretty nice. We'll see. It's a deadhead. It's not an actual trophy, something I found. So we'll see how it goes. All right. So my method right now is I used half of this. Um, it's an espresso blend, I believe. Really dark roast. I want the skull to be like dark. So this is it. I put half of this block in here, let it warm up nice and hot. When it starts boiling, I'll stop it, let it cool down a little bit, and then I've got this 5-gallon bucket that I have it in. I'm really trying not to stain too much of the base of the antlers. It looks like it's going to go up into it a little bit, but I may try to see if I can paintbrush a little bit of stain or a little bit of coffee stain up into the antlers so it kind of blends or fades into the white. So we'll see how it goes. All right, it's steaming pretty good, so I'm gonna go ahead and dump the coffee into my 5-gallon bucket. I'm running out of time, so I mean it's a pretty big amount of water in here, but it's steaming really well. So it's nice and hot. I don't want to set it in there as it's boiling because the hot water will, could possibly do some damage to the skull. So I'm just gonna put it in as hot as it is, do one quick little stir. It's a really dark coffee. It's an espresso blend that I got. So it's good. It's oh yeah, that's really dark. I can see it on the handle of this. I've never done this before. First time ever. I don't know how it's gonna turn out. This is a practice thing. Like I said, this is a deadhead I found. It's not a trophy. So it's something that I feel I can experiment with. There's no really emotional attachment to it, even though it is a pretty badass deadhead. So what I'm using to kind of like set it up a little bit to even it out, because right now it looks like the coffee is going to go about maybe up to here, and I'm going to have to figure out a way to blend it up into this, which I think I can make it look pretty cool. But I'm going to flatten the skull out as much as I can. I'm using a little flower pot to kind of even it out, or level it out, not even. We'll see how it goes. No, it only went out about an inch above the base of the antler, so that ain't bad. So what this is gonna do, this is gonna soak into the bone a little bit more than just a surface stain, like a wood stain. So I'm gonna leave it in here for probably overnight. I'll check it in the morning. I gotta work tonight, so we'll see how it turns out. But first time doing it, I'm hoping that it turns out really good. If not, then I might use a little surface stain. I really wanted the skull itself to be dark, and then I'll blend it into the antlers, because I like the somewhat sun bleached antler look. I think it looks really good. It's not like porous like if it was out there for a couple of years or so. It was the first year that it's been dead. So all right guys, well, it's the next morning. It's been sitting in this coffee overnight, so I think it's been over it's probably been about 16 hours. But pull it out of here and I'm gonna rinse it off. Rinse all the excess coffee grounds, if there is any. Alright, so this is what it looks like so far. I like that look. But I'm gonna let it dry. I'm gonna brush this up a little bit, see if some of the darkness will come out of it. But other than that, you know, it's almost done. I'll get back with you when it dries. All right, so it's been an hour or so since I pulled it out of the coffee, cleaned it off a little bit, so it's dry enough for video. It looks all right. I'm probably gonna do some touch-ups on it, but all in all, I think it turned out all right. I like the color of it. It ain't too bad. It's nice and brown. It didn't really do a whole lot up here, so I'm okay with that. But I'm gonna have to touch this up a little bit. The way it's kind of like bleached out still a little bit there. I might get some some wood stain or something. I'm definitely gonna have to get some sealant, because in the process that did loosen up. So I don't think it turned out too bad. Still gonna keep the antlers the way they look. So, but yeah, that ain't too bad.
It takes a little bit of some coffee and a little bit of water to make like a paste, so you can make the coffee stick together a little bit, and then you can just stick it right on where you need the extra color at.
Yeah. Yeah, I might take a cotton ball and try to put some, like, make a little paste and put it on here. A little bit back there too. I'm not sure what that is. That might be calcium buildup. I don't know. But yeah, it don't look too bad.